Hello, my name is Charles. Today we're going to be installing a system board in a Dell Optiplex GX280. First I'm going to open the computer case. These are the parts of the motherboard: the memory, the PCI cards, all the cables that are connected to the system board. Over here is the heatsink and the processor that's located underneath. Next, I will remove the PCI cards. And I'll set those aside. We'll be using those later. Next, I'll remove any cables that are connected to the system board. Next, I need to remove the screw that holds the system board, the frame the system board's in, to the case. Remove that screw and set it aside. And then I'll slide the system board and the tray out of the computer. Next, I will take the new system board out of the static bag. You need to be cautious that you make sure yourself's grounded. You can have lots of static electricity, especially this time of year in the winter. And then I'm going to remove the processor frame from the new board because it doesn't have the right frame on it. So I'm going to be removing that. 4 screws come out. Screws, and that takes this frame off the bottom, which is no longer needed. Okay, in this step we're going to remove the heat sink and the processor from the old system board. So we'll pull these 2 clips out. Pull this, that takes the heat sink off, and then this little lever here, pull that back, and that removes the processor. Next, we will remove the frame for the processor and the heatsink off the old board. And there's one more screw that holds the system board to the frame, right here. That one needs to come out. Slide that forward. that from the frame. Next, we'll install the new system board on the system board frame. It has four little items where it slides down on here. Little clips actually slide down there, and then we slide it into the frame. We go get our screw that we had before. We attach that to the system board frame, and then we take the heat sink frame and we attach that to the system. Okay, next I'm going to clean the processor and the heatsink with the chemical pad that's supplied. And sometimes I scrape this off a little bit because it's a little bit thick there, so we'll just do a little bit of scraping here. Take the alcohol pad, chem pad, clean the old heatsink paste off. All cleaned off. And the heatsink just needs to be scrubbed on the bottom a little bit here. That's clean. Next, I'm going to install the processor and the heatsink on the new system board. So we'll remove the two clips that hold the heatsink in. Remove the little cover that goes on the processor. Little item here that needs to just pop off, and that goes in the trash. We'll put the processor on. It has two little slots that it slides in. That down. Just latch that down and latch that behind. Then we need to put on some of the heatsink paste. And then we put the heatsink onto the processor. Make sure that paste gets smeared a little bit there. We'll put the two clips back in. Hold that. Next, I'll remove the memory from the old system board and put it over onto the new system board. And the easiest way to do that is to just go one by one, put them in the same order they were in, press down on them until they latch. This is also where I kind of do a visual check just to make sure all the rest of the parts and pieces are the same on both boards. Okay, next I will install the new board into the case. This is always tricky, getting all these wires pulled around here. Make sure we don't have any caught underneath. Lock that one. Slide that in. Latch it. Get our first screw that we took out. And screw the frame to the case. Go. Okay, we'll reattach the cables to the system board. And this one here is the cord that runs by the fan, and you just got to make sure that that's not caught on something. Otherwise it'll make lots of noise. Now connect the power supply to the system board, latch in, connect the first IDE cable, second IDE cable, USB cable, and the SATA cable. Just double check, make sure all the wires are connected. Next we'll install the PCI cards, FireWire card, put that into its slot, and the video card. Has a little clip here. That down behind, put the cover down that latches behind, should be everything, and then we'll close the case. Okay, next we'll hook up the computer to get the configuration, plug the power in, plug the monitor in, and we'll plug the USB and the network cord. Next we'll let it do its auto configuration here. Takes a couple minutes here, searches through. And it's setting up the machine, setting up the drives and the processor and the CD-ROMs. And you can see it's working down at the bottom there. Okay, the manufacturing mode boot is completed, so we press the Alt F to reboot the computer. We have to do the Dell diagnostics again here. Computer's rebooted, and you're ready to log on. Thanks for joining us in installing a system board today.